You know, over the years, I've played and captured a lot of incredible amps, but this one's different. This is a 1965 Fender Deluxe Reverb, a real deal, original Blackface that's been completely checked over and certified by one of the most respected amp techs in Canada. And when I say this thing is clean, I mean it. Original transformers, original Oxford speaker, and everything inside exactly as it should be. It's basically a time capsule from 1965. When I had the chance to play through it, I instantly knew this was the one. The Deluxe Reverb has such a unique dynamic range, sparkling, glassy cleans at lower volumes that slowly morph into that warm, blooming overdrive as you push it. So I decided to capture this amp more extensively than anything I've done before. Multiple volume settings, both channels, every sweet spot. What you're about to hear in this video is the result of that process. The JS Vintage Dlx Vrb Ultimate and DI version 2 collections for ToneX. If you ever chased that perfect Blackface sound, that mix of chime and vintage compression, this is it. The right amp, the right year, captured exactly right. Okay, so let's head over to ToneX and take a look and see exactly what you get. There's going to be two separate collections. You can get them as a bundle together, or you can get them separately, depending on what you want. The first one is going to be the JS Vintage Dlx Vrb Ultimate, which is going to be the Amp+Cab versions. And you'll notice here that it was captured through the original Oxford 12K5-6 speaker, which is all original. Really cool to have an original 65 Deluxe Reverb with that original speaker in it. So what I have here in the naming convention is JS, my initials, Vintage Dlx Vrb, a number, norm or vibe, and then V2. Just reminding everybody that these are the ToneX version 2 captures. So the number is going to be the actual volume setting on the channel, and the norm or vibe is going to tell which channel we were on. So the normal channel, NRM, or vibrato channel, VIB. 10 being volume on 10, 3 being volume on 3. And I went in single increments because as I was capturing this amp, every time I moved that volume up one, there was just a nice subtle difference to the character. And I thought that this amp deserved to be captured all those settings. So you're going to have a lot of possibilities here between both normal and vibe channel. So without further ado, let's dive right in. We'll get started. Well, it's a Fender amp. Let's start with a Fender Strat. We'll take a listen to this with some humbuckers also and some P90s. So starting off here, I'm going to use my Fender 50s Custom Shop Strat. Now you'll notice here that we have two levels for volume 3 and a little Roman numeral 2 after these ones here. And that Roman numeral 2 is telling you that for this I use the second input, which is a little lower gain. Now you're not going to hear the differences between the volumes as much with single coil pickup guitars, but you will hear it more with the humbucker guitars as the edge of breakup kind of just works its way in. So this is the normal channel, second input, lowest gain level with the volume on 3. I'm on the bridge pickup. But as clean as this amp is going to get. Just beautiful stuff. Moving on to the next gain level. There won't, like I said, with the single coil pickups, you won't notice a huge difference, but the tonal character shifts a little bit as we go to the different input. But there will be more of a difference when we get into the humbucker guitar. Moving up to the next gain level on the normal channel. Fifth level of gain. Now you hear that edge of breakup start sneaking in. And some tonal changes moving on to the next level again. Up to the next level of gain. On the volume. Moving up to 9 on the volume. And finally 10 on the volume, the amp wide open on the normal channel. So it's going to be a little lower gain than the vibe channel, which we'll get to in a sec. Now let's go to that vibe channel. You'll hear a little more gain here now. And a little more high end, a little bit thinner too. Let's work our way down on the volume. Super touch responsive. So there are the Amp+Cab captures. Now let's head over and take a quick peek over at the same naming structure for the DI captures. Now what's going to be included with this is a custom IR based off of that same original Fender Oxford 12K5-6 speaker cab. Really sounds killer here as well. So these are the amp-only captures. Now that IR will be baked in just at the preset level. We can always go over to the tone model and have that without the cab. That's a question I get a lot of done videos about it, but people don't seem to pick up on how that works between the preset and tone model. You'll also get the IR as a separate wave file as well. Moving on up to different gain levels here. All the way to the highest gain setting. Let's take a listen with some humbucker pickups. Here I am with my 59 Gibson Custom Shop Les Paul, and we're gonna head on back to the Amp+Cab captures. And now you're gonna start to hear how we're nice and clean here on that second input. When we move up, we start to introduce the slightest little bit of edge of breakup, next gain level. And the final gain level. Just some beautiful tones here. Add some tape delay to that. So now moving over quickly to the DI versions. All of those same gain levels. And all the way down to the highest gain level. Finally, let's listen to it with some P90 pickups. Back on the Amp+Cab captures now, I have my beautiful Gibson 56 Custom Shop. And we can start on the lower gain. So even on this volume level of 3, you can kind of hear it starting to break up slightly. Whereas down here, a little more pristine. Really hear a difference between the normal and vibe channels. The normal being a little darker, a little lower gain. Really nice to have all the different gain levels between the two channels. All right, there you have it. Sorry for all the noodling again. It is a lot of tones in there. I wanted you to hear them all with some various guitars so you can kind of hear these work really well together. I'm super excited about this collection. I'm super excited to have this beautiful, all original, actual 1965 Deluxe Reverb in my collection with the original speaker, original transformers, and everything that goes along with it and sounds absolutely spectacular. So I have a link below to these different collections, whether you want the DIs or the Amp+Cabs or together as a bundle, they're all available. I'm going to play you a demo video on the way out, listening to how these tones work together inside of a full production in a mix with some various guitars. So you get an idea of how they sound like that as well. And if you're so inclined, you can grab a copy down below. It helps support the channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in and sharing your time with me. I hope you enjoyed listening to those, and I hope you enjoy the music on the way out. Please like the video, share it with anybody you think will get some use or enjoyment of watching it, and also please subscribe to the channel. Hit the little bell notification to get notified when I put new content. I'll be back really soon with some more. Thanks again so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the tones. Ciao for now.